was jaw-droppingly beautiful. It was genuinely breathtaking. After I was given the role, I remember leaning into that scene in Return of the Jedi, really listening to her voice in particular, because they created the wig and the costume that creates a bit of a connection to the character. But I really remember working on her voice. And then playing those scenes, I kind of carry those scenes with me with Mon Mothma. This time in Andor, we really get to develop her as a character, and we get to learn about her not just as a senator, but as a woman, what her life is like, what she has to wrestle with, what are the dangers to her life, what it costs to be her. And Tony's writing is so intricate, it is so taut, it lives in this world of a spy genre, of a socio-political drama, and yet set within a Star Wars world, so it feels universal and intimate all at once. I was always interested in her, and each time I go to play her, I go back to that scene that Caroline did in Return of the Jedi, just to remind myself of how they originated her, Caroline and George. And there's a very famous line that fans say all the time when they refer to Mon Mothma, which is, "Many Bothans died to bring you this news." And you can see when Caroline does that in that scene, for me, there was always a pain at the heart of it. You could see that she was carrying a pain, and I was really curious about what that was. What has happened in this woman's life? What has it cost to be her? What are the sacrifices that she has had to make along the way to be that leader of a rebellion? And I've been interested in finding ways to carry that through at different times. But what Andor allows us to do is really investigate that. What is that? What has she had to sacrifice? How does she get to Rogue One and stand there and introduce Cassian to Jyn and say, go and do this, knowing that they will probably die? How do you call on someone to make that sacrifice? What have you had to do to get there? That's what interests me about her. In Andor, we meet her in the Imperial Senate. We see her talking to senators, and then we meet her at home with her husband. We see the public and the private. We see her literally and figuratively take off her cloak and reveal herself as a woman in a way we've never seen before.
They're so proud of themselves, so fat and satisfied. They're everywhere. They're watching me now.
Soon enough, these days will end.
It is in the vein of Rogue One, where we have very practical sets. They are built as tactile environments, so we can engage with it. Our production designer, Luke Hull, is just a magician. Those sets are extraordinary. I remember walking into the set where you first meet Mon Mothma in Andor, in Luthen's gallery, and that was jaw-droppingly beautiful. It was genuinely breathtaking. Not just the architecture of the building that Luke created, but the pieces in the gallery. Stellan and I were like kids in a playground. We were so happy. We were like, look at this one. Have you seen this? What is this? Where has this come from? And you could kind of see with all these artifacts in one gallery space that they had built and created, you could see a whole universe. You could see different planets, different cultures, different times. It's an amazing thing as an actor to get the opportunity to inhabit a space like that, to get to breathe it, and for it to be able to inform your performance. For me, I think it elevates the performance because you get to see a real character acting in a real world, in a tactile environment, and how that space affects the characters and how the space itself is a character. Stellan is so special. He's fun, he's witty, he's intelligent, he's a great conversationalist. Him and I, we could really play together. I think he will be wonderful as Luthen because Luthen has so many different faces, and he will really step into that. I'm excited for fans to see that. Diego is, first and foremost, an extraordinary and a very celebrated actor, but he's also a beautiful human being. He's a very generous leader. He's intensely collaborative. He's full of magic. He's a wonderful person to be around, and he is a great leader, and I think it's so wonderful to have him and all of his charisma woven into Cassian Andor to lead this piece. We are all satellites around Andor, really. There's a wide ensemble. With Tony Gilroy's writing, it of course is deeply interconnected and interwoven, but at its heart is Cassian Andor driving it. And no better human being to do it than Diego Luna.
There will be no rules going forward.
People are standing up. That's what a reckoning sounds like.
I'm excited to see where they take Mon Mothma and those collisions and how things interconnect and collide going forward. And I'm looking forward, personally for me, to see how that continues in season 2.